Right then, good afternoon ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to Extinguished Motorsports, of course. Back on the realistic cars as we usually are, and tonight it is Zandvoort, ladies and gentlemen, the normal way around. We have had the reverse in the past, but tonight is Zandvoort forward way. 13 drivers joining us for this one this evening, and a bit of a different setup I've got. Let me know if the microphone sounds all right. It looked pretty low actually on the system, so let me know what it's sounding like, but it looks pretty low. I think that's okay now. Hang on a minute. Just sort that out. Right. I think we're a bit better. There we go then, ladies and gentlemen. 13 drivers joining us then, and here in Zandvoort, the wet weather is upon us. We've had a lot of good drives here in Extinguished Motorsports recently, with most of the drivers from last week joining us again. I'm very much looking forward to getting into this. The rain is going to spice qualifying up massively. Then we go into the 50% race after that. And then we have your post-race interviews with the top 3 drivers coming after that 50% race. So about an hour and a half of action coming your way then, with 16 minutes on the clock for a qualifying session. Many drivers exiting the pit lane already for their laps. Passy already making his way over the line. He'll be starting his go-around. As we watch him, I will get the results up from last week here in Extinguished Motorsports. So last week we went to, if I remember correctly, Belgium in Spa. And it was Billy Mewis that took the win for that one, as I can see here. It was a Kick-Sauber 1-2 finish. Billy starting on pole position, finished in that P1 place. Passy started P4, he managed to jump up 2 and finish just behind his teammate Billy Mewis, of course. Andrew Pittsmith 3, Dom Pedrito finished 4. So he had some good numbers, good faces high up on that grid. With fastest lap going to Deckers at the end of that. Deckers, by the way, has joined an esports team. So you can see the progress that he has made over time. I've seen him make his way through the ranks, through the racing leagues, and week by week he gets much better at what he does. And he's here in P3 at the minute then, looking to set his first time of the afternoon. Of course, soft compound tyres in the wets then, which is a bit weird. Normally soft compound tyres, of course, is what we use for qualifying. That is the quickest tyre, and get up to temperature just as you need them. But in this kind of conditions, the intermediates is what you're looking for. But Deckers is going to make his way around now, looking like he's on the lap, but we'll find out what he's doing here. Passy over the line for the first time of the day then. Passy sets a P1. Quickest of all right now with a 1 minute 21.254. It is Andrew Pittsmith then, second place. Now third drop down as Deckers over the line. He sets the quickest time. Then from Lee Boy QAV with a 1:19.2. Many seconds quicker than the drivers behind. And that is a beautiful time then from the Ferrari, who tonight is in one of the quickest cars. Of course, we are here in the realistic performance cars. So the drivers that are the quickest will be given the slowest cars, like Ferrari for Life and Passy are in the Kick-Saubers. They're the slowest cars on the F1 grid. But people like Leeboy QAV today, he's been given a very quick car, the Ferrari, which of course in normal Formula 1 didn't do amazingly last season, but we're definitely up there in a decent power unit behind that car. Leeboy is definitely going to be happy with this vehicle today. Speed Freak joins us in the chat tonight. Good to see you, mate. Welcome in. I'm glad you're here. But yes, we have Lee Boy, who goes quickest out of everybody. His Ferrari teammate Percival is in the pit lane. He's down in P13, hasn't yet set a time, but with 13 minutes to go, he's got an abundance of opportunities, and we'll find out what he can do as time goes on. Pepes crosses the line. He sets a P4, then to P5 then as he gets beaten, and Passy will cross that line for a third place. 1 minute 19.4. How are we tonight? Very good, mate. Hopefully you're doing good too. Speed Freak, it does join us tonight in tonight's race. Good to see you joining us. And maybe, just maybe, we'll get to speak to you in the interview room later tonight, of course, with the top 3 drivers in the finishing order. So we'll find out which drivers that is. It is always, you know, unpredictable here in Extinguished. In all the leagues I commentate, this has got to be the most unpredictable one because of the realistic performance. As I'm in development esports, mate. I've just mentioned that on the stream. I don't know if you heard me, but yeah, in a development esports team, pretty cool. I saw your fancy new name and profile picture. I was pretty happy for you. It's good stuff. You've made good progress. But Lee Boy then is out there, and the rain not looking as bad as before, but still lingering around the track. And this Ferrari boy then at the minute is the quickest driver by just shy of a tenth of a second, but he's out there again at the minute, and I think was looking to improve there. But he's on non-ERS, and this could be a failed lap time, looking to maybe save his battery and go around again, or is he actually using it now? I think this is a lap then for Leeboy in non, maybe saving all he can, maybe to burn down the straight is his strategy, or he's just waiting to go once more. These intermediate tyres do last a little bit longer than the slicks, and you can, just get a few more laps out of them. So going around a few times shouldn't really be too much of an issue in terms of performance. But Leeboy heads up towards the line then in the Ferrari. And of course, as we know, he is the quickest driver, but he is in the pit lane now and not going for an improvement just yet. But he's far from safe, not even a tenth of a second really in it between him and Dom Pedrito, and he now crosses the line for an improvement. Dom Pedrito now snatches pole position away from Leeboy with a 1:18.897. And the Haas car, bearing in mind a fairly slow car on the Formula 1 grid, that is a beautiful time from Dom Pedrito in the realistic car. Passy lines up third place. Owen forward is Red 5, Pepe 6, Andrew Pittsmith P7. Deckers then lines up in 8 at the minute, down all the way at the bottom, but he was on soft compound tyres when he set that time, and now out there on the intermediates. Like I mentioned before, the tyres favoured for these conditions, and he's just about to round off this outlap, so this will be his first proper push lap on the right tyres, and I think he's going to make a huge improvement here from P9 with a 1:21.2 as opposed to the pole position time at the minute, 1:18.8. There's a massive gap in there, especially here, of course, in Formula 1. Margins really do matter, and Decker's into the first corner. With the medium ERS mode then already used 30% down the straight, quite a long straight here in Zandvoort. There's Ferrari for life now, goes quickest in the early stages of qualifying, 1:18.2, and extending that margin for pole massively at the minute. Of course, these wet conditions allow for that to happen. In the dry, you normally get, not even really a tenth between some drivers up at the top, but in these wet conditions, you get crazy gaps, and that is displayed between the 1 and 2 drivers then of Ferrari for life and Don Pedrito. We're going to go back to Deckers down in P10 then, who we're looking to see an improvement, but I think he's given it, it looked like the hards there, but it is the intermediates as he makes his way around, and this isn't a lap time for him. I'm not entirely sure what is going on. People binning off laps at the minute here in Zandvoort. But while we're waiting, we might as well have a quick look at the championship standings then. And the driver standings line up just like this. The man in P1 then is Billy Mewis in the Mercedes, who isn't joining us tonight. And I don't know if he joined us last week. I think he did. Yeah, he won the racing spa, didn't he? But he isn't here tonight. I'm not entirely sure why, but maybe just a bit busy. He's not here to defend his championship lead. He's got a 19-point gap then over Passy in second place, and Passy's here today trying to take advantage of the situation. He's in P5 at the minute, and race pace is pretty damn good, so we're going to see him gain positions most definitely in his Kick Sauber this evening. We've got Andrew Pittsmith then in the Mercedes. He lines up third place, joined by Dom Pedrito in 4. Dom Pedrito is second place here today in qualifying, and there's quite a few tenths between him and Ferrari for life, but that is sure to change. Andrew Pittsmith then, we're watching him on a flying lap round at the minute, and this is definitely a lap for him. He's currently P3 in the Drivers' Championship. Hasn't set an amazing time. It's a 1:21.0, and of course the times are going to get quicker lap by lap. But here's the Haas driver for tonight, of course, as they do switch the cars, which makes it always so unpredictable, like I mentioned. This is a letdown, of course, unfortunately for Andrew Pittsmith. He will not be setting a lap this time and makes his way to the pit lane possibly, or he's going to give it another go this next lap round. But that's multiple laps we've seen that haven't been fully completed. As over the line for Deckers, who we've just missed. Where is he? Deckers crosses the line. He goes to P5 in qualifying. In the Racing Bull, sets a 1:19.2 and 1,000th of a second between him and Leeboy QAV. You do not get it closer than that. The closest you can ever get it. Leeboy towards the line now then from P4, now sets second place. And this man with a 9/10th improvement is definitely gunning for a podium. this evening. We have not yet been able to speak to him in the interview room, but tonight might just be that night. He's had many close calls, but Lee Boy might just be able to get that podium today, and he will be very happy with that if he can. He's been gifted a brilliant car, and he now needs to take advantage of it in this Ferrari because it is a very good, of course, gift for him. I need to go on Do Not Disturb. It's a long time since I've been on the Xbox, so I need to do that. There we go. We don't get that issue on the PC. That's the beauty of it. But anyway, Dom Pedrito down into the first corner, and he improves, I believe, by 0.4 of a second on that lap. He's currently 1:18.897, P4 at the minute, and not a lot of competition. He's really in his own little race right now in qualifying. As someone, Reaper, joins in the chat. What is going on here? I've not seen you in a while, mate. You still around? You still in? I think you're still here. No way, I've not seen Reaper in a long time. Good to see you, mate. Welcome in. But Ferrari for Life, then, is your current provisional pole sitter in the Kick Sauber. Oh, mate, it's good to see you in the chat. It's been a long time. It's nice when you pop in. Hopefully you're doing all right. But Ferrari for Life is on provisional pole. He's on an outlap at the minute. This is what I am looking forward to see. He is in the slowest car on the grid, but he's setting the quickest time, and that just shows how quick he is. He won last night in WRC Tuesday Division. And here he is in Extinguished Motorsports, ready to do it all again. Here we go, then across the line here in Zandvoort. This is it. Is it going to be his final lap? It might just be, or he has got a bit of time to do another one if he needs to. But that depends on how successful this go-around is. Dom Pedrito at the end of qualifying. He sets a 1:17, the first driver into the 1:17s. So 1:17.904 for him. Ferrari for Life has got a bit of work to do then. Is he just 2 tenths out of the 1:17s right now into the end of the first section then for the Kick Sauber. It's looking pretty strong at the minute, and he's already found that 2 tenths in the first sector. Still 2 more to go. And this man looking the favourite for pole at the minute in these wet conditions. Very tricky here in Zandvoort, and a track that many people absolutely despise of. But it is very nice to watch the drivers trying to manoeuvre their way around, especially in these conditions. Ferrari for Life is doing a brilliant job, and here now into the end of the second sector, he's found 2 tenths in the first, which is already what he needs to claim pole position at the end of qualifying. He's now found 4.5 tenths of a second in that middle sector, along with a purple sector too. That is exactly what he wants to see. Now into the final third then, as this man is going for that pole position. The Kick Sauber absolutely flying here in Zandvoort. Now towards the line to burn every last bit of battery he's got. What has this man got in store for us today? He was on pole for a bit. Lee Boy now to second place, but Ferrari for Life back on pole position here in Zandvoort. It's a 1:17.483 and a brilliant time then for the Kick Sauber, as he beats everybody to that top spot in the latter stages. Still a few minutes to go, but it is looking very much in favour of Ferrari at the moment. Dom Pedrito, second place. Lee Boy QAV, a few moments ago, has just set a P3. Was P2 at the time, just about into the 1:17s, nearly. Not much in that at all. And this Ferrari has got a little bit of work to do if he wants to be any higher than this. Are we going to see anybody improve and, get past him on time? We could see that here from Passy, possibly, as he's into the second set. Never mind, his last lap was 1:18.2. This isn't a lap then. So Lee Boy might be safe at the moment. Pepe's is going around. He's just improved by 6 tenths on the last lap, I believe. As we see Red 44 Dog, he's on the lap, and he has set a P10, 1:20.1, quite a bit off the pace. But bear in mind, he is in the Williams, which is not a great car. It is really not a good car in the realistic performance. Of course, on the equal, any car is the exact same. It doesn't matter what car you have, but in this realistic performance, the Williams is not ideal. A 1/10.5 up then for Red, as he finds a bit of time in that first sector. Now to the tricky right-hander, where he's going to slide a little bit on these wet conditions, but the Inters are handling it massively, and he's handling it even better as he swings to the left-hand side now. 2 minutes, 50 seconds of qualifying. He hasn't got a lot of time now to make his improvements. This is the lap that has to count. Not really much more time. He could go around again, but he'd have to save his battery up once more, and he just hasn't really got that time at hand. But this could be a decent lap with still 25% battery to burn all the way towards the line. The long long straight here in Zandvoort, as of course it follows on from this banked final right-hander and up towards the line then for this Williams. A very slow car, but it seemed to be a decent lap from P10. Has it been an improvement? It is a 6/10 improvement, but not enough for you know, any positions gained, unfortunately. So he will stick in P10 and not move anywhere from that very hard pushed lap. As Dom Pedrito then, he lines up second place in the Haas, and that is a lovely time, 1 minute 17.9. But the gap between him and Ferrari for life is monumental, huge. And Pepe's now, he's on a lap. Or is he on a lap? We'll find out. He's on non-ERS, so this isn't looking good right now. So I haven't been in, been focusing on IRL racing. Got a bit of free time now. Hope you well. Very good, mate. I'm glad to hear it. I'm very good, thanks. A lot has changed since the last time we spoke. Back to the Crossley Sports days where it never really got started, did it? But no, we've done some good things since then. It's good to see you back. But 1 minute 15 seconds then, everybody. This is the latter stages of qualifying, and this is where it starts to get very important for the drivers. Here comes Dom Pedrito then across the line for his final time of the evening. And this is going to decide his starting position in the race. He has to get it right, 70% battery and on the low fuel mode. So he's running as light as a feather. The car will be flying if he can work his magic. And in this Haas, he's looking pretty good at the minute out of the bank left-hander with still 60% battery. And towards the end of the first sector, we'll find if he's made any improvements. He has improved by over a tenth and a half then, which at the minute isn't enough for pole. But if you can find even more in the second and third sector, he could be on that pole position today. But he needs a big jump. He's already got a good gap of time between him and Ferrari for life. And that guy is out there on an outlap, so he is not resting today, is he? He's back out there with 20 seconds to go, and he's going to try and improve even further. 1 minute 17.4. It doesn't even look beatable on his own time, but he's still going to try and make a personal best then. Is Ferrari for life? He's on provisional pole at the minute. Dom Pedrito lines up too. He now is going to make his way around the final few corners. And it was a 3.5 improvement in the middle sector, but he's backed off in the final third, and the Haas car this evening is not going to find any more time. It's going to be second place or below then for Dom Pedrito. No more improvements, so it's all eyes to Ferrari for life at the end of qualifying, who does improve by nearly a tenth of a second then in that first sector. This Kick Sauber is flying at the end of qualifying. No more time on the board, and if you've crossed the line now, this is your final time of the evening. If you cross the line after the time has run down, of course, you will not get another chance at a lap. But Ferrari for Life made it pretty good, and he's got a 1:17.483 with barely any competition. Maybe Leeboy QAV actually might be, you know, contesting this, but I don't think he is. It isn't looking quick. He's on half throttle here, heading up into a very fast right-hand side corner. Ferrari for Life then, nearly 2 tenths improvement in the middle sector. And this could be a brilliant run for pole. He hasn't got any competitors then to try and fight him off his top spot today. He's already going to take that pole position if it stays like this, but towards the line, just to rub it in the faces of the drivers, it's a 1:17.3, and it's a tenth and a half improvement for Ferrari for Life, who is going to take pole position provisionally right now. Is anybody else an improvement? Deckers isn't. Passy could take this away then. Passy over the line. It is front row of the grid then for the two Kick Saubers. 1:17.865 on an improvement for Passy, who's just behind his teammate there. But it will be pole position for Ferrari for Life, and well-deserved today on top of his game. That was brilliant from the Kick Sauber. He is the man on pole. Percival, no time. He lines up at the back of the grid. Leeboy QAV, who was looking a favourite for today, actually, he lines up P4, which is just out of the podium places, and a very strong starting point for him. He can start building his place up now, and could be a podium for this Ferrari. He has got a chance. It only takes a mistake from one of the guys in front of him, and you know, he can make his race his, and he'll be very happy with that. You get to speak to him in the interview room as well. Of course, I know Lee Boy personally and very well, so that might be quite a funny interview. But I would love to. I'd love to finally do it. Ferrari for Life. Great comms, excited for the race. Thanks, mate. I appreciate it. Speed Freak, he ran out of fuel. Oh my. Qualifying session then, everybody, here in Zandvoort. Ferrari for life on pole by half a second then over his teammate Passi in the second kick Sauber. It's Dom Pedrito who lines up third place, joined by Leeboy QAV on the second row of the grid with him in the Scuderia Ferrari P4. Owen then lines up 5, joined by Peppi's in P6. It's Deckers then, who actually, in my opinion, quite out of position, but he is in the V car, which may explain it. He's in P7, joined by Speed Freak. In 8, 9 is Andrew Pittsmith, and 10 will be Red 44 Dog then, lining up in the on the last place in the top 10. Every time I improve, I got kicked back down, says Deck. I hope you do well today, mate. Of course, this man has joined an esports team, and what a driver Deckers is. I've mentioned it before, but he's made his way through the leagues, and you know, race by race, you just see the improvement from him to the point where he's been winning Grand Prix now and then and taking pole positions. And I believe it was actually in this league that he took wins and poles. Hope I've got all right race pace. Mate, Drew, I hope you've got good race pace as well. We need to get you in the interview room. I was just saying, I don't know if you heard, but it'll be a funny interview because I know you, so it might be a bit more awkward, but nah, it'll be funny. It's fine. So we have a little bit of a break then, everybody, if you're new here. A little bit of a break before we go into the main race and then straight into it. I think we do have a formation lap, but I do that many leagues. I forget every single week. So we'll find out. Hopefully the mic quality has been alright because I've plugged it into the laptop tonight. It's normally in the PC. But it's the levels are looking better now. They're looking a bit bad earlier on. Sounds good. Okay, good stuff. Yeah, mate, Reaper, I completely agree. Brilliant laps from Ferrari for Life. But we are soon to get into it then, and I am really excited for this. Like I mentioned earlier on, because of the realistic cars, it's just so unpredictable here. It really is. You get some leagues where you can kind of predict who is going to be in that top 3 every single week, but you can never predict that today. You know who the fast drivers are, but they get given the worst cars, and that does put them at a bit of a disadvantage. So we'll see how it pans out. Leeboy QAV, do not take your eye off him because he has got a good chance today, starting from P4 on the grid. And like I mentioned, he's in a great car, so this could be his night if he makes it work, but we will see. Here we go then, ladies and gentlemen. On the grid, we have a formation lap to start this one off tonight, and it's the 2 kick Saubers on 1 and 2. They kickstart this running down into the first corner. Somebody sending it completely already. I don't know who that was, but completely up the inside and overtaking the 2 kick Saubers. We've got a good race coming our way then here in Zandvoort, where lap times are relatively short. It is a fairly short track. It's in the mid-range. It is in the mid-range. Long tracks like Spa, where we went to last week, that was very long. And the races do tend to take a little bit of a while. But Spa are only 22 laps because of how long it is. Today, I think we have 28, 29 laps possibly of racing, maybe 26. It's around that area, meaning we have got not much in front of us, but it'll be about 40 minutes of racing action for the drivers. Could be even longer if we have a formation lap, as Dom Pedrito and Owen both disqualified from the session. There you see your race strategies on the screen as well. It's the 2-stop and the 3-stop. You already know there's somebody that's going to probably be able to pull off the 1-stop, but the 2-stop then's the most favoured strategy tonight here by the sea in Zandvoort. What a track it is. I'd love to go here in real life. Looks pretty nice. But Dom Pedrito, Owen and Deckers all disqualified from making contact on the formation lap. So they will be on the straight and waiting for the rest of the drivers to line up now and get ready to start this Grand Prix off tonight. 40 minutes of racy action coming your way then, with the two Kick Saubers looking mean at the front of this pack. Great qualifying sessions from both of them. Passy managed to get himself up into second place just at the end. Ferrari for life. There's no doubt he has got a brilliant chance tonight, because the times he was setting were very quick indeed. But qualifying is much different to race, and I tend to say that often. That's why I don't count anybody out, because it could go absolutely any way then, ladies and gentlemen. Here ahead of the drivers then is the lights. And we line up on the grid here in Zandvoort, ladies and gentlemen. Here in Extinguished Motorsports, Ferrari for life on pole. And the drivers get away. 5 lights out, and it's lights out, and away we go. And the two Kick Saubers are off the line absolutely brilliantly. Then in sync in towards the first corner. They still lead through turn 1. It is Dom Pedrito who tries to make his way past, but he's just got so much going on behind him. It's Lee Boy who still holds 4. So much kerfuffle going on. It's off the track here for Speed Freak into the barrier then, as he has to avoid a bit of contact here with the driver behind of Deckers, I believe, who is making his way all the way through the pack. He's already up into P6, and a brilliant start from this Racing Bull, ladies and gentlemen. He's up 1 place since the lap 1. And we've got 35 laps after this. I was completely wrong with how many laps I thought we had. We got a lot more than I thought. As the two Kick Saubers running away with it already in 1 and 2.5. A second gap being held by Passy to Dom Pedrito behind. It's Lee Boy running very nicely in 4. Owen then has got Deckers now looking for a move. He's off the track there. It's gone Lee Boy. And I've just put a bit of a commentator's curse on him, unfortunately. Up the inside line goes Deckers then on his teammate. Forces him a bit wide and lets him through now. It's Deckers into P5 as he gains 2 places. Lee Boy looking a bit squabbly on the backside here. Here comes the Racing Bull looking for the inside move, but his rears just not sticking as much as he wants them to, and he's got not a lot of confidence in the car as it looks then, as the back end slides out. And a move here up in front as well as Don Pedrito splits the Kick Saubers apart. Don now into second place as Passy is the driver in front. Ferrari for life starting on pole. He's down to third as there's a drive around, and it is Deckers at the back. Oh, he's making so many places up. It was a brilliant start from the Racing Bull, but he's now down in P10 and lost all of the hard work that he's put in at the start of this Grand Prix. Lap 2, and he's 3 places down now since his starting position in P7, which he's going to be gutted about, but he should be happy that it's happened early on, and now he's got a lot of time to work on the mistake and get himself back through the pack. Lap 2 then, everybody, and it is Passy as your leader, who started second place today. It's gone his way so far. Leeboy QAV seeming to struggle a little bit. We saw his rears just slipping out underneath him and didn't really have the confidence in the car that we'd like to see. But maybe that's going to build as the race goes on. He is 9/10 of a second away from Ferrari for life, and not too far away from dropping out of that DRS, and that is the worst thing that can happen to him. He needs that DRS to stay within. He's got Owen behind him, and he's going to really struggle if not. So we'll find out how that pans out. It could be bad for him though, because Ferrari for life now is fighting with Dom Pedrito with the DRS being used. It is the Haas car of Don up the inside line, and for the first time today he leads the Dutch Grand Prix. Dom Pedrito now into P1. Passy drops down to 2, and the two Kick Saubers have been absolutely taken over by the Haas as he now leads this Grand Prix on lap 3 of 36. Still very early stages, but I mentioned it before the race started, and qualifying is much different to the race. Dom Pedrito has got so much more grip through the corners, and he's just able to make those passes when he can, as Ferrari for life now. His teammate Passy just about holding his place in front of him. Here comes Leeboy QAV, then getting a bit feisty up the outside line. That forces him to go off now, and he's just struggling to get back on the track. Beached himself as well in all the positions. He's losing down to P10 now. He's just made contact with Deckers as well. He goes round 2. As Deckers has had 2 collisions in the space of 3 laps. He's now up into P9 from P10, but contact with Lee Boy, who was running in P4, and chances of a podium are now drifting away as he is all the way down the back of the grid, unfortunately. 33 laps to go, and he's got time, but just not what he wants to be doing, is it? He's fell down the order, and it is awful to see, as now he's going to struggle. He's going to really struggle to get onto that podium, which is where we wanted to see him today. Moves looking Very close here out of the first corner. Then the kick salvers again. Prix for life trying to hold his place here on Passy, who goes into P1, but he does take it deep up the inside and comes across, hits his teammate, and now the kicks make contact through the banked corner. Here comes Owen then to try and pick up on the pieces. He moves through. He makes a double overtake on the kick salvers, and it is the Racing Bull who's now up into second place. It's Dom Pedrito 1, Owen 2, and Prix for life and Passy are blowing their chances of that podium and a win today. A 1-2 finish could have been the ending result, but they're down in 3 and 4 now and just letting anybody overtake them. They've been taking each other out just like this. Passy getting too eager now on the trigger, and it is Speed Freak who just goes up the inside line, picks him off very easily. And Passy's struggling here. Maybe he's cooked his tyres a little bit too quick. Loads of action going on. Red 44 Dog from P10 then, as we saw in qualifying today. He's made his way to P5. Passy now all the way down to P6. And it's an awful lap for Passy, dropping down the order as Pepe's behind him and not too far behind. We've got a long DRS train here as Andrew Pittsmith then in front of Deckers now, who of course was up higher earlier on. Now he's down to P9. P10 at his lowest, but still holding P9 into the first corner. These guys aren't waiting around, though, are they? Passy up the inside line, wants to get ahead of this Alpine of Pepe's. He's doing a very good job so far, but Pepe's doesn't want to let it through there. Connecting wheels then through this banked corner, but it is going to be Pepe's that comes out in front for a brief moment. The kicks out with a better exit though, and he's through back again into P6. I cannot believe he's lost this many positions into P6 as they come 2 by 2 into the flying right-hander. He'll let off the brake, he'll let off the accelerator a little bit then through there. Let the car cruise through in Pepe's P7, Deckers 8 and 9 is AP again. As these guys stuck in a bit of a DRS train at the back. Dom Pedrito running away with this race superbly well. It is a 2.3 second gap over Owen in P2. And how good is that? That Haas car has got it all mapped out, hasn't he? Lap 5 of 36. We've got a long way to go. 31 laps of this race, as well as top 3 interviews. And Owen normally asking us, are we doing the interviews? And today he is on that podium in the early stages. Prix for life, though, will be wanting to gun him down, and he will definitely be wanting that win today. But we'll find out how well he can manage this race. As up the inside line here is Speed Freak, who does get into P4 momentarily. Red 44 Dog doing what he can, but just not enough there to fight back, and he has to let that place go. He concedes, and it is P5 for Red, which is still a good position to be in. He started P10, by the way. This here's Andrew Pittsmith then in the Haas car, who is much closer to Pepe's at the moment. We're going to look at from front as well. Is it Speed Freak who gets put off the track there, and his tyres collecting all the grass from the side as his Alpine teammate flies through, makes it look very easy, and Pepe now goes into P5. Speed Freak losing a few places there. He goes down to P6, but he's still 2 places up from where he started. We look to Andrew Pittsmith then. He's still sat in P7 and hasn't really moved around very much. He is up 2 from the start, but not looking to make many places up right now. He's just chilling out a little bit. As the tyres on your screen then, majority of the drivers have gone for the medium compound, which means we could either get a medium hard strategy, or it could be a medium hard till the end. We'll find out what they do. It's looking like maybe a medium hard. We'll see. I'm not entirely sure. The strategies tend to differ between the drivers. Here comes a battle again. Then the Ferraris are battling at the back. It's Percival who just gets past his Ferrari teammate of Leeboy QAV. Now Deckers wants a piece of the action, and he puts his car up the inside line. Gives Leeboy no option at all, as he now just about holds it. Can Deckers get on the outside line here? Just gap him enough, and he has done it. It is into P10. It's just getting worse and worse for Leeboy, losing all these places. Starting P4, he's down in P11. But Dom Pedrito on the 7th lap of 36, then leading this Grand Prix very nicely indeed. He's the man in front. Didn't start P1, but he's managed to get himself there over time. And let me just tell you, he's on the hard compound tyres as well. And the drivers behind him are on the mediums. The mediums will be the better tyre. But Prix for life makes an early pit stop. Is that because of wing damage, or are the tyres just so shot already? this early in, he might just be so shot. I mean, you can see the blistering on them then as he came in. And he'll go in now, and you'll see if he gets a wing change or not. I don't think he will. He might just do. Yeah, wing change then for the kick Sauber, so that might be why he came in. But he's on the hard compound now. He was on the mediums. The hards should go till the end, but coming in this early, I don't know if they are. That's early to pit. Maybe it was just due to the wing though, and he desperately needed that change in. But Andrew Pittsmith is going to exit the pit lane at the back of the grid. Fry for Life comes out in P12. But as I was saying, the hard compound tyres for Dom Pedrito, they aren't going to be as good as the mediums. But for him to be leading by 4.3 seconds, he's got a lot of spare pace, a lot of extra pace over the guys behind him. The hards, of course, less grip, the least grip out of all the slick compound tyres, but do last the longest, and they take a little bit to get up to temperature as well. That's why when they come out of the pit lane, you'll see them maybe struggling for a lap or two, and then they'll get up to temperature. But Dom Pedrito, he's absolutely rapid on these hards. Behind the drivers on the mediums, they get up to temperature decently quick, of course. They're in the mid-range, but they just aren't good enough then. For long distance off the track there for Red 44 Dog as he makes a crazy lunge on the Williams, who does get through. Am I looking at the right person? I am, yeah. It's Red 44 Dog into P3. Bearing in mind this guy started P10. He's up 7 places, flying through the pack as he makes a brilliant dive on Peppies. He just got off the track a little bit, but through into P3, and that is all that matters. As an Aston Martin round, and it is Stray Dog 3 Racing who's having an absolute nightmare in the Aston Martin on the banked corner. Now back on the circuit, but at P10 position is not, P10 is not where he wants to be at all. He started, let's see where he started actually. He started in P11, so fair enough. He has made some places. As we've got a pit stop here then for Davey, who goes onto the soft compound tyres, which, I'll be honest with you, the soft compound tyres is a rubbish call. Here in Zandvoort, they are going to die straight away. I'm not entirely sure why he's done it, but we'll see what his thought process is. But the softs, he's going to have to come straight into the pit lane in a matter of laps. They're going to be awful soon. Owen with a 10-second penalty then for speeding in the pit lane, and he's in now in the Racing Bull. As we know, he was P2. Now he's in the pits. No new wing then. He's kept that clean, which is a bit of spare time saved in the pit lane. And he comes out on the hards. It'll be the same for the second kick Sauber of Passy, who's down in P11 now. Is it going to be any more places lost? It's looking like he might just lose a place to the Haas car here, or has he just got out in front? He is going to lose out to the Haas, isn't he? Here comes Andrew Pittsmith then with a bit of extra speed round the outside line. He'll get the inside. Oh, he goes round one of the kick Saubers just out of the pit lane on the fresh tyres. Spun around then by Andrew Pittsmith and one of the race leaders. That is a lot of time that's going to be lost for him, and it's going to cause a lot more damage to the tyres that he'd want to do. That's going to mess the strategy up massively, isn't it? And if he gets on the podium today, it's going to be a grand achievement because he is far back at the minute. But lap 10, everybody, of 36. Still no safety car. It's been very clean here in Zandvoort, and Dom Pedrito leads over Red 44 Dog by 9 seconds at the minute. We don't know when he's going to come into the pit lane yet, but the hards seem to be managing pretty well. And we're not seeing any signs of struggle at the minute. With 11 laps in on the tyres, Pepe's up the inside line of Red 44 Dog, and a brilliant move then. He gets into second place in the Alpine. But of course, he will have to go into the pit lane. So this is not actual positions for them right now. They are leading, but to actually say they are, leading this race properly is incorrect. They need to make their pit stops, and then we will actually see where the drivers are position-wise. Decker's now in the pits, and Speed Freak too. Speed Freak on the hards as well as Decker's. It's a bit of a shame for Deckers. I was really thinking we're going to see a higher position for him today, but it's just not gone the way he'd like it to. We've not spoke to him in the interview room for a long time. It happened once. It happened once in Extinguished Motorsports, and it was the first week back, I believe. I think it was round one? I think it was round one of the season. We're a few rounds in now. Davey with the fastest lap then. So maybe that was why he did it on the softs, going for the fastest lap. Never mind then. That's exactly why he's done it. Must be for the extra point that he can take for having the fastest lap. As lap 12 begins, Dom Pedrito is just leading massively now. 10 seconds is the gap that he has over Pep. He's in second place. As now it is time for the Alpine to pit, and 10-lap old medium compound tyres are not going to be doing too well at all. He goes into the pit lane. It'll be the hard compound when he goes in now. And possibly, oh, never mind, medium. So this is your first two-stop, everybody. Medium, medium, hard is going to be his strategy. So he will be coming into the pit lane again because, of course, you have to pit for... We have to use two different types of slick tyres in F1 in a Grand Prix. Of course, the tyres that you start on, and then you have to go into the pit lane and put another set on. That rule doesn't apply if you've had wet weather in the race, but that was only qualifying. The race has been bone dry, and that is why this will be a two-stop strategy for the man on your screen right now, who is down at the back then of P9. Yes, here comes Dom Pedrito then towards the line. He's got 15% battery, burning it. Lap 13 begins. We're seeing the medium runners pit. We haven't seen all of the medium runners pit yet. Red 44 Dog and Leeboy QAV both leaving it late. Leeboy now, after waiting to make pit stops, has made his way all the way up into P4, which he will lose. Now Red makes a pit stop and leaves Leeboy, the only driver on the mediums that hasn't pitted now. This is it for him. How long can he go? You know, he's got a bit of time to the drivers behind, but is this going to work out well for him? He is on the podium places right now. Owen looking for a move here on the kick sound, but Fry for life as he kicks his car on the inside line. Contact made, and we've seen somebody spin there today already. Nearly happens again with Owen. Just not enough speed for him there on the kick, who just gets in front, but with 60% battery, it's more than possible. Just going to pick the right point for it to happen. Now looking for a gap up the inside, but waits behind, stays patient with it. And it is not a move made for Owen then, who stays back in P5, unfortunately for him. But still pit stops to come in. The top two drivers haven't been in the pit lane yet. They are both on, oh, I think Percival has, but they're both on older, hard compound tyres. They are really aging now as well. Could this be a pit stop for Leeboy? Oh, he carries on. He's onto the grass as well. He must seem pretty confident then. He has a 2.5 second lead over Leeboy. Owen retires from the session in the pit lane. No safety car comes out because of that. But we do lose a driver. I cannot believe he's retired. That man was on for a podium as well. He's out of the Grand Prix then. Owen, in the Racing Bull, retires from the Dutch Grand Prix. Don then, with a 13.3 second lead, is looking very comfortable at the minute. Mackie joins in the chat again. Welcome in, mate. It's good to see you back. Speed Freak with a 10-second penalty, and that is going to be very detrimental to his race. 10-second time penalty. You can only serve it in the pit lane, or of course it gets served at the end of the Grand Prix, and that is when you lose a place because it gets added to your finishing time. But here's Red 44 Dog, starting P10, sat in 8 at the minute, and not all pit stops have happened, but they are starting to happen now, and we're going to look at this because Dom Pedrito has made a pit stop. Here we go then. This is what really matters. He's gone long on the hards. Now he's onto the mediums. Will it be 2 medium tyres till the end? That could be the strategy for Dom Pedrito as he comes out in the Haas car then, leading this Grand Prix momentarily now as Leeboy QAV, who's still on the old medium compound tyres, somehow inherits the lead of this Grand Prix. And of course he will need to pit, and this isn't his true position, but he is the leader of the Dutch Grand Prix at this minute in time. 0.3 of a second then to Dom Pedrito, who is sure to make a pass past him soon. He's on the much newer mediums. And mediums, when they're fresh out of the shop, are, you know, the brilliant tyre. They really are. But as they get worn down, they can be awful, and that might be what Leeboy is going to start to experience, as he will get overtaken quite a lot. He's looking like he's probably going to come out down in P8 or P9 is Leeboy when he goes into the pit lane. Here comes Dom Pedrito then fighting on Leeboy through round the outside line, and that is the Haas. definitely. As your race leader round goes the Ferrari, gets punted then by the kick Sauber, it looked like there. We missed it, but he's reset the track, and now he's got a bunch of drivers behind him. An overtake here for the Haas car of Andrew Pittsmith, who's fighting for the podium. It is surely time for Leeboy to go into the pit lane now, who nearly gets spun again and off-putted here into the barrier. And also the same for Pepe's, both of the drivers into the wall. Leeboy, oh, he's into the barrier again. Huge wind damage for the Ferrari as he's back on the track, but this is going to be into the pit lane and even maybe retiring for Leeboy. He will not be happy with that. A bad end to the Grand Prix then for him. Is he going to carry on, or will he just retire it from the session now? He does retire from the session and ends his race here. Leeboy QAV retires then from Extinguished Motorsports. The Dutch Grand Prix, Dom Pedrito still leading. We have 20 laps remaining. Well, Drew is out of the Grand Prix. Leeboy is out of the Grand Prix, which is a shame. But 20 laps to go, and we are 2 laps away from half race distance. We are really making our way through this one tonight. As somehow I've been live for 57 minutes. And we are, you know, not even halfway. I don't know how that works, to be fair. This is going to be a long stream. Normally around this point, we're getting to the latter stages, but that's not the case today, of course. 1 lap away from half race distance now. Dom Pedrito still being your leader. Pepe's now goes into 3 as AP makes a pit stop in the Haas car. He's on the mediums, and they are 9 laps old. So he must have started mediums. Never mind, no. Andrew Pittsmith started on the hards then. This is his last set of mediums till the end then, you can only assume. But it's a long way till the end, isn't it? You can't really last the mediums till that. We'll find out, though. Well, it's been a lovely race so far, everybody. It really has. See you later, Drew. Thanks for joining in the chat. Thank you very much. Racing tomorrow, Thursday. Yeah, mate, I should be. I'm going to be out tomorrow in the day, but I should be back for the evening race. So I'll let you know if I'm not, but more than likely, you know, I am. So we have reached half race distance, everybody. Halfway into the Grand Prix, and we've had 2 drivers retire, no safety cars. And Stray Dog now picking up a 3-second time penalty. We have been very, very light on penalties today, not many at all. As we look to the front, and you can still see the Haas car leading. It is getting pretty boring with him. I'm sure he is very bored. He is leading brilliantly up at the front. Just realised I'm not sorry. Oh, don't worry. Yeah, Drew, it's fine, mate. Don't worry about it. Don't worry at all. Last week was a bit of shambles, weren't it? So honestly, mate, it's fine. No worries. Here comes Deckers then, who's fought his way through the pack, and he's on 7-lap hold hards now as he goes up the inside line of Pepe's. The Alpine on the inside, the Williams on the outside. Who is it going to be? I think a kick Sauber went back as well and spun around just behind, but he's back on the track now. Red 44 Dog and Speed Freak here are giving it an absolutely crazy battle. Up the inside for Red. Makes a crazy move. Is it going to make it stick, though? He does make it stick. Somehow kept that out of the wall and out of the backside of Speed Freak. But lap 19 of 36 then. Dom Pedrito as your leader. Pit stop coming for Passy now then, who we saw get a wing change earlier on. I think it was him or Fire for Life. One of the two got spun around as well. But a quick pit stop by the Kick Sauber lads. And Passy out of the pit lane now on the hards. You can only imagine these have got to go to the end now. 18 laps on the hards is very doable. It's a stretch, but it is doable for Passy. And we know what kind of driver he is as well. He's definitely got it. He's definitely got it in him. He can do it. But as mentioned multiple times during the stream, then we have your top 3 driver interview coming your way after this session. Doesn't take too long, maybe about 5 minutes, 10 minutes at most, but we love to have a bit of a chat. As Ferrari for Life into the pit lane. He's on 11 laps on the hards. Surely it is another set of hards till the end, because mediums now, it just doesn't seem, it's mediums. What is the strategy he's going for today then? Mediums now. I'm not sure, but the 16 laps to do on the mediums, that might be a stretch, unless he's got another pit stop plan, but I'm pretty sure he's already pitted twice. Yeah, Ferrari for Life with the 2-stop strategy then. Same with Andrew Pittsmith. As we have 16 laps remaining. And I'm not going to lie, the action has started to spread out now. Unfortunately, this is the closest you're going to get then. Here is Passy and Stray Dog. Passy looks for the inside line. Bearing in mind, Passy's just been into the pit lane, so his tyres are completely fresh. These hard compound tyres do need a bit of time to get up to the working optimal temperature. But at the minute, he's looking not too bad. Right on the backside of the Aston Martin, making it look very easy. Late lunge up the inside, and he's through to P9. The unbelievable thing about this race is the Kick Saubers lined up 1 and 2, and they looked the favourite for a for a 1-2 finish at the end of this race. They're now in P6 and 9. How has this even happened? I do not know, but it is Dom Pedrito definitely the favourite to win today, as he has brilliantly outdone the competition with a 10.4 second lead. I don't know if I've ever spoke to him in the interview room. Are we going to speak to him tonight? Hopefully we can. Maybe he wants to. Deckers is on the podium at the minute. We could be getting a Deckers podium, everybody. It's been a long time since we spoke to him. We've still got the other half of the race to go, which we're in now. But is it possible? Can Deckers be on that podium? We've all been waiting for it. As in the pit lane for Pepe's then, the Alpine makes a pit. Ferrari for Life with the fastest lap has coming out of the pits as the Alpine. He's on new hards. They will 100% go to the end if he can push them properly. And he comes out now in P7, maybe even, it'll be P7 definitely then for the Alpine. As Pepe's is coming out. We've got not a lot, I'll be honest. Not a lot around the track right now. Action has died down. Stray Dog and Passy is the closest thing, but we've just seen Passy make a move on Stray Dog, and I don't think Stray Dog's got the speed to pass him, because Passy, of course, went on the new tyres earlier on. Stray Dog is on the older hards. We'll see what they are, actually. The hards of 8 lap old compared to Passy's 3. Oh, we just caught a spin, and it is Davey at the back then on the softs. 3 lap old. He's all the way back in P11 then. Back of the grid, but he's persevering on, spinning around then on the soft compound, which after a single spin, these soft compound tyres are completely stuffed. And that might be the case with these. 13 laps to go, and I've got to admit the action has died down, unfortunately. This is getting closer, though, between these 3. It is Red 44 Dog, Ferrari for Life, and Andrew Pips. Oh, no, my bad, it's not. It's, I cannot see who they are. It is the Kick Sauber, the Williams, and the Ferrari. Percival Red and Ferrari for Life, who are all within a few tenths of a second now of each other. And Red 44 Dog, who started P10, he's up to P4 and looking for that third place off of Percival to get himself onto the podium places. We've got Ferrari for Life then, who we speak to so many times in an interview room, now up the inside line on the Williams, and he is going to try and make another place up on Percival, but he's just managed to escape a little bit. Can he gain a bit of time here with the DRS to help him down in towards turn 1? Percival with no DRS there. As here we go then, the kick Sauber finally fighting on Percival. Didn't take him long to get on the backside of him, did he? And now he's right on the rear, on the gearbox of Percival, who just doesn't really know which way to go. It's up the inside, goes Ferrari for Life, makes contact, forces Percival off. He punts him, sends him with too much speed over the top corner then. He goes well off onto the gravel trap then, gets caught. Now comes Ready 44 Dog to try and get through past this Ferrari as well. But Ferrari for Life, oh, never mind. He's going to let him back through. Fair enough. That is very good. That's the best sportsmanship I've seen in a while. Ferrari for Life, letting Percival back through. That is really good of him, actually. It's really nice to see that. It's really, really good. But Ferrari for Life, everybody, has just let Percival back through because of a collision that he caused. I'm glad he's done that. Really, really nice of him. With 11 laps remaining now, and Percival is going to enter the pit lane. What tyres is he on then? Percival's on 9-lap-old mediums. It'll be the hards till the end. Or it could even be the mediums till the end. It is the mediums till the end. And he's going to have to make them last 11 laps, which is possible. But let me tell you, at the very end, they are going to be completely cooked. Oh, contact there then is Andrew Pittsmith into 5. Peppies drops down a position there, and the Haas car has managed to get himself up into P5. Bit of a lock-up from the Alpine behind. Andrew Pittsmith just running right on the rear side. Sorry, no, my bad. Pepe's running right on the rear side of AP. As Dom Pedrito, the race leader, with a 14-second lead then over the rest of the drivers. He now goes into the pit lane. He's going on to new mediums for 10 laps till the end. More than doable. Deckers will pass him then on 15-lap-old hards. He cannot make these go to the end. Deckers will need to go into the pit lane here at some point, whenever it is. Red 44 Dog does the same, and his 13-lap-old hards must be pretty shot now as he goes in, and it's looking potentially to be the mediums till the end. It is. Everybody ending up with the same strategy then, everybody is. Decker's now your leader on 15-lap-old hards, and he'll need to make a pit stop at some point for some new mediums, most likely till the end. He's got 10 laps now. Decker's in the lead. What a nice sight that is. He's done very well today. Of course, he will go in the pits, but he could be around the podium places today. We might just get him in the interview room. He carries on, or is his thoughts maybe carry on till the end? But 25 laps on hards might be an issue. They might die pretty quickly. Ferrari for Life in the pit lane. Oh, 10-second penalty and retiring from the session is Ferrari for Life. I really thought we were going to get that kick Sauber then on the podium today. We normally get him in the interview room, but he's out. And that is a retire for him. As there's a Mercedes in the pit lane as well now of Davey. He comes out. And Decker's still plodding along on his 16-lap-old hards. We've lost Ferrari for Life. Dom Pedrito now 2. Pepe's now 3. We've got a lovely looking podium. This is what I mean by it's so unpredictable. It's so much different from last week, this finishing order is. Don Pedrito's done a fantastic job and is looking to be the race winner tonight with a 2.2 second gap over Deckers today, and that gap is slightly coming down. You would expect that. Don on the brand new mediums, they're going to be working great. Everyone, great comms. Sorry to quit early. Something came up. No worries, mate. You're doing very good as well. It's a shame. Deckers now makes his pit stop. This is the final stop into the pits for him. It will be the mediums till the end. 8 laps on the mediums is what he's going to do. And this is it for Deckers now. It is time to push Andrew Pittsmith in the pit lane. Will Deckers get out of the pits before this Ferrari comes down? He definitely will. Deckers then, everybody, is going to come out in a podium place. And for the first time in a while, we're going to get to speak to him in the interview room if it carries on at this pace for him. It's looking good. As here comes Andrew Pittsmith, then the Haas car on the backside of the kick Sauber, again gaining as much as he can, looking for a move up the inside if he can, not far behind, but not enough for an actual lunge. Has to keep it sensible for the time being. We're near the end of the race now. He doesn't want to mess anything up. As he's on the soft compound tyres till the end, they are gonna very quickly die. They really are. But he'll do what he can with the remaining laps. About 7 laps left, and a move through past Passy there as he goes wide out of the right-hand side. And, you know, since losing the places since the start, Passy and his teammate Fire for Life were really struggling to get back into the main action. Here's Red 44 Dogden with the DRS on the backside of the Ferrari. This will be for P4 then as he goes round the outside, both on the same lap hold medium as pretty much, into turn 1, and the Williams fighting this Ferrari like his life depends on it. Is the Red 44 Dog going to get through? He easily gets it. And the man that started P10 now in P4. It is going very well for him. Not in the podium places right now. And also for him, there's no penalties around him to actually bump him up. So where he is where he'll finish right now. What a move up the inside for the Alpine. The kick Sauber has to wait his turn, but it's spin there from the Alpine, a speed freak. As he just about holds it. How's he done that? Passy is going to hold his place behind him. Oh, there's big wing damage for Passy as well, and explains why he's been struggling. Big wing damage for the kick Sauber of Passy then, who down in P8 and he's struggling today. He's got wing damage and a penalty. But as we all saw coming, Don Pedrito with 6 laps remaining has an 8.2 second advantage over Pepe's and Deckers, and the list goes on, and that time just keeps adding and adding and adding. He has done exceptionally well today, and Thorida deserves this win. It will be 31 when he crosses the line, and 5 more to go now, everybody. Oh, we got some. We've got a bit of action happening. Oh, never mind. I think that's a Mercedes. It is. It's Davey, who's looking like he's retired from the session. If I can find him there, he has, and that is his AI driving him around. So Davey is out as well. That is 4 drivers out of today's race. It is Davey, Ferrari for Life, Leroy QAV, and Owen. Your current podium place sitters is Don Pedrito, Pepe's, and Deckers. Is it going to stay that way? I don't know, but this is looking good. Especially for Deckers. This is where he wants to be. Did you send that vid, mate, of karting? No, I didn't actually. I will do it as soon as I can. I'm just thinking of how I can send it, because if I can't send it on Snap really, because it's like 17 minutes just for one video, so I might have to share it through like WhatsApp or something. But it's quite a good video actually. Our little battle's quite good as well. In the pit lane then for Passy, who gets on a brand new wing. And of course we did see he had that end plate damage. That is now sorted with a brand new wing. And he comes out of the pits with 4 laps remaining. Yeah, Drew, I'll have you on that. I will have you. I'll send it you when I can. Don Pedrito gives us 3 before the end. Pepe's 2. I cannot believe Leroy QAV retiring from the session. He was on for a good race as well, starting P4. He's out. Ferrari for Life started on pole, by the way, and ended up retiring because of something he had to attend to. But it's such a shame. Wasted opportunity. He was doing well. It is such a shame. Yeah, it was really good, Drew. It really was. We definitely got to go again sometime because I really enjoyed that. Mate, if we went to PFI again, it was so good there, outdoor, brilliant. But there's not a lot going on at the track at the minute, everybody. They're very, very spaced out, so we can really just look at your race leader of Don Pedrito, who has driven phenomenally well. And you can see the time penalties on your screen then. It is 10 for Speed Freak, 3 for Stray Dog, and 6 for Passy. And they're at the back of the grid, so that is really quite irrelevant now because penalties at the back of the grid, it's not really going to change anything. Because they're just position gainers as well. We start lap 34 or 36, and it'll be the most positions gained for Percival, who started down 8 places from where he is. So, yeah, back of the grid then for Percival. He's sending after the stream. Yeah, around that. I'll get on my phone and send it after. Keep thinking this is a battle here, but it's not. It is just Davey at the back of the grid, unfortunately, who has retired from the session. But Don Pedrito still leading, and soon to round off this middle sector to begin his penultimate lap of the Grand Prix. The Stray Dog and Passy, who aren't far from each other. The soft compound tyres for Passy now as, of course, he exits the pit lane. He must have fallen quite far back because of that. And now with the softs trying to do what he can to make an overtake on Stray Dog. But at the minute, it's looking like he's going to finish behind him. He's got barely any ERS and no attempt to save it into turn 1 then, as he's still in the medium ERS mode. So not saving any battery then is Passy at the moment. But he is gaining quite quickly here on Stray Dog, and you can see making his way through the corners, he's absolutely flying. Deck in the chat, not enough fuel, he says. Is he not going to make it till the end? He has got a yellow fuel light on. Has Deck ruined his race tonight by underfueling? With a yellow fuel light, we have got 2 laps remaining, and we are looking at the Racing Bull, who could be on that final spot on the podium, but he might just run out of fuel before the line. It's going to be very close. It's going to be very close indeed. And Stray Dog has been passed by Patsy making it look easy as always. He is through. I cannot believe what's going on with Deckers. This man could see his race slip away from him then in a matter of seconds. It's most likely going to happen on the final lap of the race, and he's going to be heading round to go on to the final lap now then, ladies and gents, is Pepe's. Up to is Pepe, sorry, is Deckers, who's under fuel. Oh, this is bad. This is very bad. Red fuel light is on then for the racing ball of Deckers, who's managed to get himself then into the podium places, and he has a 10.9 second safety net between him and Red in P4. If Deckers runs out of fuel, that is how much time he's got to crawl to the line. It's a long run down in towards that line, of course, out of the final corner. He might just struggle here. We'll find out. This is very bad for Deckers. Hopefully he can make it. Don Pedrito, however, has had a brilliant race, and his fuel, they're all running out of fuel. They're all really under-fueled then. Red fuel like that for all the drivers up at the front. Don Pedrito on the red fuel as well as he tries to get himself towards the line, and he might just be able to do it. We'll see what they are as they get there. Don Pedrito into the final few corners then, everybody, after absolutely dominating here in Zandvoort, and what a brilliant drive it has been with the red fuel light on now though, and he could just run out of fuel towards the line, or is he going to make it? He's looking pretty quick round the final corner. I think he's just got enough then as Don Pedrito towards the line. He will cross the line here in Zandvoort and win the Dutch Grand Prix here in Extinguished Motorsports. Pepe's into second place then as he crosses the line, and Deckers has run out of fuel. Deckers has run out of fuel towards the line. Will he be overtaken? He has a 10-second safety net as he heads towards the line. It's going to be a photo finish if it carries on like this. Over the line for Deckers, who just about gets onto the podium with no fuel left in that car. Red 44 Dog P4. Percival will cross the line in 5. Andrew Pittsmith P6. P7 is a Speed Freak. Wow, he got very lucky, did Deckers there. That was a close one. He got on the podium in the end, though. Speed Freak into P7, then he's crossed the line. Passy now will come round. He will finish P8. I cannot believe it's gone down that way. Deckers just about makes P3, but with barely anything in it. He got very lucky there. As here's Passy, and Stray Dog will follow close behind to round off this Dutch Grand Prix. And minus 32, wow. Right then, if you have just been in the podium, get yourself in the interview room. Here is your results then, everybody. What a race it has been. We're going to move on to your interviews now then, and get them done and dusted. What a night of racing it has been then here in Extinguished Motorsports, as I will quickly switch over to the YouTube, to the Discord, see if we can get that all sorted really quickly. Right then. What a race for the drivers in Extinguished. So we're going to have a quick post-race interview if I can find the server on Discord. Okay, right. Post-race interview room then. If you have just been in the podium places, get yourselves in there. Hang on a minute, Zach. I cannot hear a thing. Give me a minute.
All good.
Right, I think we're good. Hang on. Let me just check the Discord audio. And then, right, I think we're good. Deck, what a race, mate. Just about got that P3 at the end. Just talk us
That,
through how you think it went.
well, to be honest, I don't know how I got that P3 because I had like 4 incidents at the start,
Yeah,
and then my teammate left after one incident, which I wasn't happy about. But like, I just persevered, I guess. I think that was all it was, and then I think it was lap 30. I realised I didn't have enough fuel to finish, and
yeah,
I was like, nah, I've got all the way up to P3, and I'm gonna lose it because of my fuel.
I
But I
cannot believe
didn't.
it. Well, we're all glad that you crossed the line. I'm particularly happy. Good to see you in there again. I think was it the first round of the season we had you in the interview
I
room?
think it was, yeah,
Yeah,
it was.
it's been a while, but it's good to see you back. Was did the strategy go completely to plan today? Of course, we didn't have any safety cars, so was it just clean sailing or?
I was banking on a safety car.
Oh
That's
yeah,
why I didn't put as much fuel in. And then Speed Freak, he like cut me off, so I ended up hitting into him, and I thought it was going to be a safety car, but it didn't.
yeah.
So I hit a couple laps early, and then so I extended my hards, and it worked.
Well, today today went pretty good. We'd love to see you on the podium again next week. Do you think it's something you might be able to do again, or do you think today was just luck?
It depends what track's next week, and if Billy Mears is back.
Yeah, good point. Good point.
Yeah,
Well, it's good to see you back, mate. I'm so glad to speak to you. I really am. Thank you for joining.
yeah, you too. Thank you.
No worries. Pepe's second place. Was it? It was second place. Pepe's, wasn't it? Yes.
Yes, exactly.
Good stuff. Talk us through your race. How did you find that?
Yeah, to be honest, yeah, the qualify didn't went for me quite good because I was P6, as I could remember. Yeah. And yeah, the first corners I dropped a lot. I just was 10,
Yeah.
almost at the end. Then just try and keep focus and then going on with my strategy.
Um, in terms of
Uh,
the, sorry, mate. Go on.
yeah, go on, yeah.
With the tires and the compounds, did you find the degradation quite high, or was it just as usual?
Yeah, I was expecting that the front left is going to be quite high. In
Yeah.
the medium compound, everything was going really good. Even the first stint, I even extended by 2 laps, as I remember. So yeah, the second stint, yeah, it was hard because I got so many great battles with the Andrew Pipsmith, and because of him, I lose a lot of time. But yeah, that was really hard, nice battles.
Absolutely. Do you think if you were given the opportunity to do this again, of course, second place is brilliant, but do you think if you could do it all again, do you think you might have had a better chance at winning?
Yeah, I think if I will not ruin my quali, I think if I will start with a better position and yeah, of course the first 2 corners mistake, then yeah, probably it was a chance for winning. But yeah, Don Pedrito got awesome pace today.
Yeah,
I was trying to get him on the hard compound, but yeah, he was too quick. I don't know how much degradation of the tires he had it, but he was really fast on those mediums at the end.
absolutely. Well, go on, mate. Sorry, mate. I think we're done. Right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much, lads. Brilliant racing from you. Second and third, of course. I don't think we're going to speak to the race winner, but good result from all of you. And thanks very much for joining again.
Great commentary as
Yep,
always, Jack.
Thank mate.
yep. Thanks,
See you
Jack.
next week.
And as I told you, I'm gonna be more often here.
Yes, good stuff. All right then.
Yeah.
Thank you very
See
much, mate.
you. Bye bye.
See ya. Right then, ladies and gentlemen, that is it. We are done for Extinguished Motorsports. Look out for your post-race interview. Sorry, the post. I can't even get my words out for it. The highlight reel, which will be coming your way most likely tomorrow for the race. Thanks very much for joining us. Have a good evening and good night.